Yeah. So after this phase right here, TJ and Boxer, you just work on ads. I'm working on ads as well.
Yeah.
Drones priority and then ads. I'll call you when we're on the. I mean, no, we're gonna get it. It's in the
crossbows. Get ready.
I got a front. Harold, talk about the last one, man. I don't want to be fair last one.
nades. Nades are missing.
Rotate, rotate, rotate.
Hey, get the drones, guys.
Go.
Getting ads. That's it. We're good. And if we don't get it here, it's all good.
Ready to go back to your.
All right, everyone, go back to the your original location. Your original. I want you to look at the laptop. Look at that little screen. Okay, it's 4. If you're at 1, you can shoot at 4 right now. So just hit the box. You don't have to hit the light, the monitor. You just have to hit the box. You'll see it light up. At the same time, look at yours. What is it now? Two. Just shoot it as soon as you got eyes on it.
We good.
All right.
Yep.
You know what? This felt good right here. You know. Congratulations. All right, let's get right into it, guys. So this is a 673 AR build that I've been using, and it's AR even though I am currently rocking sharpshooter, and that's what I have been using for the builds, regardless if I'm using assault rifle or not. And I'll get into that more. It has to do with the headshot damage and the stability that the sharpshooter talent brings. I will say this: when you do use this build, do not put the points into the medkit talent. You do not need it. Everything else is fine. Just do not put your points into the medkit talent. So let's jump into it right now. This is an AKM with 18.6k. This is obviously this does not take in consideration the 15% weapon damage, the assault rifle damage that you would get from being a survivalist. So it's still fairly good damage. I have measured, Allegro, and Everlasting. I would have liked measured, Allegro, and like rooted is probably the one that I would definitely want here. But rooted is good. Protected reload is good. So now the reason I'm using measured is because through my testing, I feel like measured does better overall. And honestly, the changes to that and combining with Allegro makes it so that the loss of the fire rate isn't as bad. But in the end, it's, in my opinion, one of the best PvP talents. I think it's just one of the top talents in the game right now, and I think you're going to be seeing a lot of this talent pop up more often. Now it definitely hits like a truck. So those are the talents, guys. For as far as the mods go, I'm using a digital scope, which gives me 45% headshot damage. I'm using a vertical grip for accuracy, and I'm using the sturdy extended 7.62 mag, which is the plus 20 rounds. Now, one thing I will say is I'm using this, and you'll see in the game play right now that if you can aim it down and you know, in PvP situations, in some situations when you're breezing through the content, right, it's better not to have a scope like this that you zoom in, right? However, throughout all the encounters in the raid, I find myself in cover in a stationary position shooting at NPCs, right? And because of that, I feel like you can do this and you can benefit not only from the 45% headshot damage that you get from digital scope for the sharpshooter, but also the combined benefit of the holstered talent on the Nemesis, which does give you an extra 25% headshot damage when you're scoped in on your current weapon. Now, if you feel like maybe it's kind of hard for you to aim for those headshots with this, then yeah, then switch over to possibly a different scope, right? Maybe the ACOG scope or the 3x scope that gives you a damage to elites. Those, you can use those scopes as well and still get the 25% headshot damage. However, in my opinion, and I've been running this, it build shreds, right? If you got the 45% and then you get the 25%, that is a lot of damage. So those are the two weapons. As my sidearm, I'm using a premeditated double barrel sawed off, and with Allegro and Everlasting on it. Now it's just a sawed off, so there are some encounters in it that I use it. Specifically, I feel like it's a good sidearm to use for the Buddy and Lucy encounter. And I will go over later about the builds, my encounters on each, and my strategies on how to beat each of those raids later. But those are the weapons, guys. Now, this talent does revolve around Unstoppable. So let's just go first. So that's why you're going to see that I have 7 blues. Let's start with the mask first. On the mask, the R&K mask, I have the one piece is 10% hazard protection. This one rolled with 40% damage to elite, so that's pretty good. I think I've seen highest is like 47 that I've seen. I actually don't own anything higher than 40%. It rolled with a yellow cooldown reduction, and I had to modify the hard hitting. I would have much preferred to have a blue roll here with more hazard protection. And hazard protection is good for there's a lot of encounters in the fight that where it's either fire or other mechanics that hazard protection does provide a little bit more survivability. I would have taken that or health. So either hazard protection or health. Probably, honestly, I would prefer the hazard protection. On the backpack, I have a Hila inventory system, a Hila guard. People say Hila, however you want to say it. So it's 5% total armor that synergizes well with the Unstoppable. This one rolled with 13,000 armor and then 2 yellows. Again, I would have preferred to have blues there, possibly another red to increase, like, maybe more weapon damage on there as well. But honestly, with this build, if I could have no yellows, that would be fine with me. However, right now what I got, and I'll probably have to make an update video once I get all the rolls I need to get. However, this build still does really well as it is. So again, the hard hitting is essential. It's a raid, guys, so there's a lot of elites. And then we have efficient. Now, it's either, for this, in my opinion, you either want efficient or you want safeguard. I don't think you should be spending your time on getting 7 yellows for on the ropes or anything like that. Honestly, you need your skills to be up because you're going to need them. So to have all your skills on cooldown in this fight, throughout this fight, it puts yourself in bad situations quite often. So it's good to have those skills at the ready. Now, efficient is a skill that gives you when you ever use an armor kit, it gives you 50% chance not to consume a kit. So that is awesome in itself. Like, that's really good. I find myself using those med kits and just being able to use them because it procs so often, right? It's a 50% chance. So I mean, I take it. I think it's for this fight, for this raid, guys. I think it's one of the best talents that you can go for to aim to get. So I would have Unstoppable Force did catch a slight nerf. However, it's still one of the best talents to get. Now, if you rock Berserker, I've seen that as a viable option. I just don't think Berserker is an option, is something, especially if you're just getting into the raid and you're playing with people that you really don't know. You don't have that teamwork yet. It's kind of risky to play that build because you are always rocking very low armor. Now you can, I've seen a really efficient groups run it, so that's your choice. I probably think that they're both about the same. You can't go wrong with either one. So I have that Unstoppable Force and I have hard hitting. Then on my gloves, I have the Murakami one piece with 8% assault rifle damage and health. So the reason I got this is because it rolled with a red attribute and a blue attribute, and then I modified it to have hard hitting as well. The assault rifle damage could have been higher. However, this is, for what it is, I think it does really well. That this would be a point of me min-maxing after this. Then the holster, I have 37,000 health, a blue, and then precise for 15% headshot damage. Now there is a little decision here that you're gonna have to make, whether or not you feel like having more headshot damage is beneficial for you and your build and your playstyle, or if you can roll that to damage to elites and have more damage to elites. When we go over to the stat page in a little bit, I'll explain more about that balance that you have to make. On my knee pads, I have a Fenris. Now the Fenris, 2 reasons why. One of them is that I'm using it. One of them is that because you get 10% protection from elites from the 2-piece, right? So I think that's really nice. The other thing is that it rolls with 2 talents. So I have hard hitting here and patience. Even with the nerf to patience, which is about 2 seconds longer to start going, you're in cover a lot, guys. So this constant regeneration, especially on the last boss, when you are shooting the boss, the weak points on the last encounter here, you could get into cover and you could continue to shoot that and you'll be regenning. So this is a really good thing, right? I hardly ever use my healing skills because of patience, right? If you play that build right, if you play this build right, you play the encounters right, this is really important for all builds during this raid. I feel it's a must-have. So that is the build, guys. I run this with a fixer drone and then also the revive hive. Now I don't have skill power, so I don't have any mods active, and I don't really think I need them for this. I don't need them for this build at all. So that is the build 673. Again, if I had a couple yellows that were into blues, that'd probably be, you know, maybe more headshot damage, more weapon damage instead of a cooldown and stuff like that. But this is the build that I'm currently rocking. Now let's go over the stat sheet. So let me switch over to the other gun. So again, this is not with survival, this is with sharpshooter. So my weapon damage is at 18.6k. My headshot damage is at 163% headshot damage. Now that is with this gun. Now that is not taking into consideration the 25% more headshot damage that I'm getting with Nemesis while it's holstered, right? That's why I have the scope here on this AKM. So really I'm at 188% headshot damage. Now I have a little bit of reload speed bonus, and that's good for the last encounter where you're really trying to burn the DPS on that boss. My reload is still 1.7 seconds. And so, but still, those are good little things to have. Okay, and this comes from being sharpshooter. The sharpshooter gives you the reload speed, it gives you the stability, the accuracy that you get from that. And also it gives you the headshot damage, which is right here. So 188 headshot damage, guys. I have 12% all weapon damage bonus. Now this could be better with better rolls. 18% assault rifle damage, 2% weapon handling, and then my damage to elites is at 90%. And that is the build, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the content. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Make sure to hit that like button, guys. If you have any questions or anything like that, drop them in the comments, guys. I do read the comments. So please let me know what you like, what you didn't like, how we can improve the channel here. And I will catch you guys later.